So everybody was seeing, and what happened? Then they understood that he is waiting for that giri. And they felt very offended. We are renunciates. We have left everything. We have come, and some of them have the pride also. So that day when Giri came finally, Shankaracharya called him, come, take the class. Now they are all more offended. How can he take the class and we have to listen? But the master gave the command that come, take the class. So he came. He surrendered, he prostrated to the master, and what he did there is this. This composition just came out from him. This is the glory of Shankaracharya ji. And this meter in which this is composed is the Totaka meter. So this Ashtakam, it's 8 verses, is also called Totaka Ashtakam. And he became one of the 4 main disciples of Shankaracharya ji. So he was given sannyas also, and is called Totakacharya. That story is to say how devotion to the Lord, devotion to the Guru, can help the seeker to let go of the ego completely. And when he let go of the ego, knowledge just flowed through him. And also knowledge comes when there is humility. The pride, when it is there, I am so and so, I am such and such. That pride prevents, especially this knowledge, which is Brahma Vidya. Ego is our main obstacle. And hence it is that this beautiful composition, let's learn this. Vidita khila shastra sudha jaladhe Mahitopanishad kathitartha nidhe Hridaye kalaye vimalam charanam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam. So this line will come again and again in every para. Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam. Shankara Deshika, the teacher Adi Shankaracharya ji, me sharanam bhava. May he be my refuge. So he is telling his own mind, may Shankara, Adi Shankaracharya, be my refuge. So I surrender to him. That's the line. Karuna varunalaya palaya mam Bhavasagara dukkha viduna hridam Rachaya khila darshana tattva vidam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam Bhavata janata suhita bhavita Nija bodha vicharana charumate Kalayeshwara jiva viveka vidam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshika me sharanam भव एव भवानिति मे नितराम् समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय माम् टुगेदर भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् जगतीमवितुं कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्छलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् गुरुपुङ्गव पुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सल तत्त्वनिधे भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् विदिता न मया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विधेहि कृपां सहजाम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शङ्कर देशिक मे शरणम्. So we are on lesson 15 and we saw last time the background of Bhajagovindam. That what is this Bhajagovindam? How Shankaracharya ji composed it. This old man who was there mugging up the rules of grammar, and looking at him, Shankaracharya ji felt compassion in his heart, because at that age grammar rules are not required for a person to memorize, because it is only a means to study the scripture and then to realize the truth. The focus must be on the realization of the truth. So then spontaneously this composition came out, Bhajagovindam. So you have the book, you can take out the first verse of the book. In Bhajagovindam book, take the page which has the first verse. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Repeat. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane. So 3 times he says, seek Govind, Govind alone you seek. Oh fool. Samprapte sannihite kale, when the appointed time of death comes, nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karane. This grammar rules will not save. So what is the main purpose of human life? In Vedanta we say, no matter what we do, whichever actions we do or what we don't do, the ultimate objective of all actions is what? Realization of the truth. Okay. That is from Vedantic standpoint. I am saying from common man's standpoint, happiness is what one seeks, no? From technical language, one can say, yes, Atma, Brahma, Aikya and all that, which is correct. But generally from common man's standpoint, what we say, permanent happiness is what we seek. Param Ananda Prapti, not temporary. And Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti, freedom from sorrow, misery, suffering, once and for all, not as a relief, but as a cure. So what will help me to reach that is what I should focus on, especially in the last stage of life here, as he's saying. In the earlier stages, I can prepare myself for it. But if I have come to the last stage, then I must focus on that and not focus on the mugging up of the grammar rules. Now, in this Bharagovindam, so the course material that we have here is giving a brief overview, very quick overview it gives here. We will go a little more deeper into this aspect. So Bhajagovindam, when we saw the meaning of the word Bhajagovindam. Do you remember 3 meanings of the word Bhaja? Knowledge, peace. Bhaja means to love the Lord. Bhaja means to know about the Lord. And Bhaja means to serve. Body, mind, intellect level. Serve at the body level, love at the mind level, and know at the intellectual level. 3 times Bhaja. And Govinda means one is Shri Krishna. Second is one who protects the cows. Go. Vinda. And means the consciousness that enlivens our senses. Go means the senses also. Go means the earth. One who is a protector of the earth. And Go means the Vedas. One who is known through the knowledge of the Vedas is Govinda. So seek that Lord who is the protector of the cows, enlivener of the senses, protector of the earth, one who is known through the Vedic knowledge, that Supreme Lord. Seek that Lord, which is, in other words, what we say, Paramananda. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Paramananda Madhavam. That abode of bliss. Seek that supreme truth. And where is it to be sought? In our own heart. Govindam bhaja mudha mate. Samprapte sannihite kale, because when the appointed time of death comes, nothing will remain here. With nothing will be there which we will carry with us, everything will remain here only. So what will we carry with us is our mind, our intellect, our senses, our vasanas. That is what we'll carry with us. So in simple words, we say our dharma, our karma, our jnana, and our state of mind is what we carry with us. That we compromise on for the other things in the world. So the two major impulses for human being are wealth and sense enjoyment. So verse 2 and 3 speak about that aspect. Let us see second verse. मूढ़ जहि धनागम तृष्णाम् कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णाम् यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपात्तम् वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम् भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. So two pursuits, which Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to call it in different words. Three words he used to use: Kamini, Kanchan, Kirti. Pleasure, wealth, and fame. Three things are generally human pursuit. Mind will run behind these three only. So by wealth, what is meant is not just the money part. Any form of acquisition that I want, where the mind is greedy for it, where the mind feels when I have it, then I will be secure, that is the wealth. And which helps the human being to live more comfortably. So it can be anything. It can be home, it can be some convenience I want, it can be money, anything that makes me feel secure. That is this wealth. Wealth indicates that term. And what does enjoyment indicate? All forms of enjoyment for sukha prapti. It can be through any of the senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, all the senses. It can be any gratification at emotional level. It can be any intellectual satisfaction. All that comes under that. So these two main pursuits, which make the mind extroverted. So why are we not able to seek the Supreme consistently? Even we are not even saying here that full day keep thinking of Bhagavan. Even if for a few moments I have to remember the Lord, what is that which prevents me from remembering the Lord consistently? Is this extrovertedness, that the mind is not available to sit quietly, remember the Lord, turn the attention within. Why? Because we have been living like that for millions of years, extrovertedly. And why extrovertedly we have lived for millions of years? Because in the animal realm, one has to be alert, otherwise one will be eliminated. No danger is coming from anywhere. So all the time one has to be careful, alert, look out, watch out. So survival of the fittest is the law there. So now having come into the human life, also one is living like that. Extroverted pursuit, thinking happiness is outside. So to seek the Lord within, to know that permanent happiness is not available outside, hence Bhaja Govindam, seek the Lord in your heart. The mind is not available for that because of these two major pursuits: wealth, enjoyment. And the result of that will be fame. The more wealth, the more enjoyment I have, the more glorious also I will be. So that is the kirti part. All the three generally keep the mind extroverted. So that's why very important it is to see how even if I have wealth, even if I have enjoyment, everything, I still feel incomplete. No matter how many things I acquire, what position I acquire, what power I acquire, the sense of incompleteness doesn't go by adding more and more incomplete things. Sense of incompleteness goes only by realization of the complete. How much can I add incomplete things which by themselves are temporary and feel complete? It will not happen. Dashrath Maharaj had that example, is one example of that. From Ramayana, if we see, he had everything. He was Chakravarti Samrat, he had a prosperous kingdom, he was famous also, he had mastered his senses also, Dashratha is. But he had one small cause for incompleteness. And what was it? He didn't have a child. So, with the help of his guru, he did a Putra Kameshti Yajna, and Agni Devta appeared and gave the payasam and said, give it to the three queens and you will have children. So instead of one, he had how many? Four. Are Baba Ramayana. KBC में अभी तो आया था. You saw how much किसके लिए हनुमान संजीवनी लाए उनको पता नहीं. अभी राम भगवान Dashrath Maharaj, how many children? So we are saying three. He had actually five. Yeah, there was a girl also. That we forget conveniently. Ram Bhagwan's sister. If it is nowhere mentioned, then how it will be there? Popularly, it is not known. I understand that. Correct. But Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna, they were born out of Agni. Means they were born out of the blessing of the Devatas after the Putra Kameshti Yajna. But before them is a girl called Shanta who is born to Dashrath Maharaj. And Dashrath Maharaj, his friend, I forget the name of that king, Romapada or somebody, I think. I forgot the name of the king. I'll tell you. That to him, he gave the daughter because that person did not have a child at all. And there was no rains in one. The girl grew up there in the kingdom of the king who adopted her, and she was married to Rishyashringa Rishi. Shanta is her name. And this Rishyashringa Rishi is the one who is called to do the Putra Kameshti Yajna. Itna background hai. And Valmiki Ramayana mentions it. Tulsi doesn't mention. But Valmiki Ramayana has clear mention in the Balakand only. Full story is there of Shanta. So before Bhagwan's birth, Shanta is born, her story, how she is married to, I think, Romapada only. And then how she is adopted by Romapada and then married to Rishyashringa, and then Rishyashringa Rishi is called for doing this yajna. All that is there in Valmiki Ramayana is there clearly.
Who's the mother of Santa? Who's the mother of Santa?
I think Kaushalya. Yeah.
It's around so.
Yeah. So anyway, I said that Dashrath Maharaj was feeling incomplete because he did not have a son to carry forward the kingdom, the lineage. Then he got a son. Not one he got. How many he got? 4. And not ordinary people he got. Bhagwan himself became the son. And Valmiki Ramayana says all the 4 are Amsha of Vishnu only. Not only Bhagwan Ram. All are Vishnu. Now, incompleteness you see, did his incompleteness go? No. He thought that if I get a son, I will be happy. He didn't get one, he got four. And he got Bhagwan himself. And still what happened to him? Why did he die? He died because of Putra Viraha. So even if Bhagwan comes to us in that form, if I don't realize oneness with the Supreme Lord, incompleteness will remain. It's an illusion to think that when I get this, I will become complete. When I become that, I will become complete. When I go there, I will become complete. We may not feel in that sense I will become complete, but we may feel that I will become more happy, more satisfied. That will last for a very short time. Again, the sense of incompleteness will come. Till the ego is there, incompleteness remains. Till the incompleteness is there, this permanent happiness and complete freedom from sorrow won't happen. So wealth and enjoyment is symbolic of that. So now in the second verse, what does he say? Mudha jahihi. O deluded fool, drop. What you should drop? Dhanagama trishnam. So he doesn't say drop wealth. Or doesn't say drop acquisition of the wealth. Agama is to acquire. Dhanagama, acquire wealth. Does our culture say don't acquire wealth? No. It says you can acquire wealth. There is no problem. It's the first pursuit of human life is artha. But what do I drop then? Trishnam. The insatiable thirst for wealth, which makes me feel greedy, which makes me feel this is not enough. I want more and more and more. See, wanting more is also not a problem by itself. But the insecurity behind it, that is the problem. Where psychologically I feel wealth, when I have less, I am less worthy. When I have more, I am more worthy. So wealth is governing my self-esteem. He says, drop that. And drop the insatiable thirst that this is not enough, this is not enough. How to do that? Kuru sad buddhim manasi vitrishnam. Have the thoughts of the reality in your mind. Sadbuddhim kuru. Think about the supreme goal of life. Wealth will remain here. It is a functional necessity. You pursue it, get it. Protect it. Use it. No problem. But the whole life is oriented towards money, 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 money. That greed for wealth, insecurity for wealth. And the strange part is, even after I get it, I am not happy. Happy in the sense I am not content. And today's world, we are seeing that happening or not. It's been there for ages, no doubt. Contentment is not there only. In fact, what one thinks, if I become contented, I will become complacent, lazy. So don't be content. So what to do? Be stressed all the time. Money is not there, money is not there, money not there, money not there. Even after having enough. Why? Because that will motivate you to act. But then what will you do with so much of stress? You must have heard that saying, no? Man spends first half of his life ruining his health to acquire wealth. And the second half of his life, he spends that wealth to acquire health. Life just goes in that only. So why should one do that? Contentment is such an important quality. Santosh. Because without that, I can't even enjoy what I have. Without that, I can't even have harmonious relationships. How much insecurity is there in relationships also? No matter how much you love the person still feels, I am not loved. Because greed has become so much. No, Swamiji, if we become content, how will we act and achieve? You know, in India, we lack this. Because we are content, no, we lack that killer instinct. See abroad people, they have killer instinct. If they put their mind on something, they will achieve it. We are content people, so we don't progress anywhere. Is that true? Killer instinct is named correctly. It will kill only. To achieve progress and success, insecurity is not required. Only a tamasic person requires that. To push that person out. A lazy, lethargic person who is not doing anything, we say, why are you wasting your life, your time? Do something, make a mark, achieve great things in the world. Come on, get up. But once you come to that stage, then we need inspiration. We don't need insecurity. We don't need ambition. Inspiration is required. Once inspiration is there, one will keep growing so much more. Much, much more than what ambition can lead to. So, one very important point in spiritual life is the greater the selfishness is, the greater will be our stress. The greater the selflessness is, the greater will be inspiration and greater will be the satisfaction also. So what is the higher ideal which I am inspired by? The work that I am doing, do I love that very work? And in that work, do I find more and more joy in serving, in the attitude that I am here to give? Then that is called Kuru Sad Buddhim. Manasi Vitrishnam. Yallabhase Nija Karmopatam, and with one's dedicated, sincere efforts. Whatever one gets, Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam. With that, be content and be happy. That was our culture. Suppose we earn some 20,000 a month. We require to spend for our maintenance and food and whatever, home, stay, everything. Then we will save some amount. Then we will think about how much I can use for enjoyment. You may say that is a very conservative mindset, Swamiji. But what has protected us even today is that a mindset of saving. I am told outside and all that, many countries, this habit of saving only is not there. Not only they spend what they acquire, they spend after borrowing more. In our culture, so we were taught to save. From childhood, one piggy bank is given, and then you keep putting, the child starts learning saving from childhood. So, and then what is said in Hindi, there is one saying, na, jitni chadar utna pair pasaro, some such thing it is. Chadar dekh ke pair pasaro. अब चादर ही इतना छोटा है, इतना पैर कहाँ से पसारें? Our mind is sometimes like that today. We are earning this much, but we want to spend this much. You know, a strange thing is, whatever Indian values we were following earlier, we were told all that is conservative, all that is not required, be liberal, do this, do that, all that, and then we become liberal. And after that, suddenly the whole world finds, sorry, this is harmful, and they'll come back to the same thing. And very strange, in everything this happens. Quite a few things, not everything, quite a few things. Earlier we used to see the advertisement, you know, that charcoal people are using. So the toothpaste fellows, they advertise, is this the way to hurt your teeth? Don't use charcoal powder. And then this toothpaste has come and falana tikna. So all the people left charcoal in everything. And after 20 years now, today, what are they saying? Toothpaste with charcoal flavor. Arre, ye kya ho gaya? We were eating in banana leaves and all that nicely. Even today in South India, many places banana leaf is used. They started making thermocol plates with banana leaf type of a coating. And then disposable plate, disposable cup, disposable spoon, all that. Then, no, plastic is very bad and single-use plastic we should ban, falana, dikna, all that. And now, people from abroad, they have found out this banana leaf is eco-friendly in what is that? Option. And now they are making all those plates and they are exporting and they are selling. So many things like that, what we have. So this mindset of saving has protected us. Even 10 years back, when that whole crash happened, recession happened, what really saved Indian economy was the saving mindset. That one is going away from. Here he very clearly he says, Yal labhase nija karmopatam. With one's own hard work, what money one gets, be content with that. And if you want more, get inspired, do the work, no problem in seeking wealth. But if I think that this wealth is the goal of life, that is a problem. That mindset is not correct. Wealth is not the goal of life at all. Somewhere I read very nicely, they said, rich people don't make, uh, rich people don't work for money, they make money work for them. So it's not about how much money you have, it's about the mindset. That do I work for money or do I make money work for me? This is that. Mudha jahihi dhanagama trishnam. Drop this insatiable thirst for wealth. People who do selfless work, money will anyway come. But we don't believe in that law because we have been taught that I have to acquire for myself. Selfishness. And selflessness is forced today. Carbon footprint you have to take care of. Don't harm the environment. Corporate social responsibility you have to do. This is forced, no? Because I don't want to do by myself. I'm taking resources from the society, but I don't want to give it back. So it has to be forced. What does our culture tell us? Do it out of genuine sensitivity, where I feel that all this is divine and my duty here is to serve. That mindset of service, if it comes, prosperity will come automatically. Our Gurudev always used to say, don't run behind Lakshmi. Because Lakshmi is very chanchal. She doesn't stay in one place. Today she is here, tomorrow she is somewhere else. So she will keep going. The only place where Lakshmi is steady is where? At the feet of Narayana. He says, don't run behind Lakshmi, seek Narayana. Lakshmi will automatically follow. And that's there true or not? Shankaracharya ji, he didn't run behind any Lakshmi. He saw a condition of a poor woman who didn't have food for herself to eat. And she had only one amla fruit in her house. That also she came and gave it to Shankaracharya ji as Bhiksha. And he was moved by her plight. And he composed the Kanakadhara Stotram, and gold was raining in that house. He didn't run behind Lakshmi. He was a seeker of Narayana. You see so many great masters. Vivekananda ji, he never ran behind money. His ideal was that Vedanta must be established in the world properly. People's life must be empowered. So when we work with a higher vision, resources, money, people, all that will come. We don't have to run behind them. But the problem is we don't have a higher vision. Then we think very small. Then we think I, me and mine only. That's the issue there. So he says, Kuru Sad Buddhim, have thoughts of higher reality in the mind and then work with inspiration. That is required. So that is one obstacle, which is insecurity and extroverted pursuit of money. Second comes sense enjoyment. So now the third shloka. Nari stana bharanabhidesham drishtva maga mohavesham etanmam savasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam bhaja govindam govindam mudhamate. So third pursuit is pursuit of, the third verse is pursuit of sense pleasure. Artha we want, no doubt, but artha we want for what? Kama. sense enjoyment. So does our culture say don't enjoy the senses? No. What the culture tells us, that sense pleasure again should not become the goal of life. If we actually think about it, what are we working so hard for? What will be our ultimate answer? It will be to enjoy only. And happiness, yes, we seek, but that definition of happiness there will be what? Good food, good music, good movies, good things to read, good house. It will be those things, which again is not a problem by itself. I can have any of those things. But if I actually think that permanent happiness comes from there, then that is a wrong notion. It doesn't come from there. It's the other way actually. It makes my energies more dissipated, makes my mind more dependent. So many times it happens or not. We do nothing, just we are sitting on watching the TV. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, we feel tired. And while watching, we are eating also something. Still one feels tired. Why I didn't do anything, just seeing TV. Senses will drain. So the idea is that enjoyment in moderation and enjoyment as a master, not as a victim. If you remember, one of the three core values of Sanatan Dharma is this. What are the three core values of Sanatan Dharma? Swamiji, I think we didn't learn this. You must have taught in some other course. Satyam, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya. Three, we learned, no? Satyam is don't compromise at the intellectual level with what ideals I am convinced of. Ahimsa is non-violence, mental level. And Brahmacharya at the moderation at the sense level, at the physical level, no indulgence which is excessive. Live in moderation, in control. So that is what our culture is saying. That sense enjoyments are not prohibited, but understand very clearly that permanent happiness is not there outside. It is temporary tingling of the senses. It has its own price to pay. So one will become more weak if one goes on indulging more and more in that. So this is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. In Bharigovindam, this attitude is Pratipaksha Bhavana, to see the negative side, to see the limitation and the pain of something which we have exaggerated. Like wealth, we have exaggerated and associated our self-esteem with that. It is a means of financial security, no doubt. But emotional security, intellectual security, spiritual security, that cannot come by wealth. Status, etc., is economic description. It cannot affect my self-esteem, but that is how one has connected. So one has exaggerated that money is everything. And because of that, one doesn't have healthy relationships, one compromises with one's values, one even hurts people, one goes to the extent of even killing people. Cheating, killing, all that one does. For what? Some money, extra money I should have. More money, more happiness, more pleasure, more enjoyment. Now that exaggerated value when I have, that has to be blasted. Because the more exaggerated value I have, when I fall, the more is the pain. So ahead as we go, it will come. Wealth is a source of calamity. That's called Pratipaksha Bhavana. Same way here. Sense pleasures are there, no doubt. One requires to enjoy. Temporary enjoyment it is. Let it be as an enjoyment, let it be as a master. Suppose I want to eat gulab jamun. I can eat hot gulab jamun. Long, Kailash Parvat gulab jamun. Happily. But in control. If I know I am having diabetes, then maybe 1 spoon, half a spoon. And maybe not required when I No, I have a diabetes and I should say, no, I will not eat this. Then I am in control. So enjoy with control, enjoy in moderation, enjoy as a master. Those things are important. And most important is the mindset that people are not objects of enjoyment. People are people. But many times we don't see people as people. We see people as means of enjoyment. That is a not correct mindset. Because then we don't see the values of the person, we don't see the goodness, we don't see the potential, what the person is really capable of. The focus is only on enjoyment. So here he says that mindset is not correct. Don't fall for the maddening delusion. Why? Because this body, he says, so when he gives the example of the woman here, it is because he is addressing the man. So this applies equally to the woman also. That the body of the opposite gender is made up of what? Mamsa, Vasa, Adi Vikaram. It is made up of flesh, blood, bone, marrow, skin. Drishtva Maga Mohavesham. Don't look at the body of the opposite gender and get deluded to think that there is happiness in that. There is no happiness. Why? Because it is made of all these. By itself, if any of this is given to us, will we like it? 7 bundles we'll give. एक bucket में blood, एक bucket में muscles, flesh, एक bucket में bones, एक bucket में marrow. What else is there? 1 bucket skin. Tvang, mamsa, meda, asthi, meja, fat. 7 buckets. That same person, like sandwich is there, no? Bread. You see onion, tomato, potato, beetroot, bread, butter, chutney. 8 elements. Put all this together, sandwich. We'll enjoy it. In the same way, these 7 things have been put together is this person. We'll disintegrate and give. Will you still go and say, I love you? It's only those. Mamsa, Vasadi, Vikaram. His whole body is made up of that. No, Swamiji, but we want to enjoy. Arey, no problem in enjoyment, but in that enjoyment we have forgotten the reality. No, that's the problem. The delusion is that the body has pleasure. Where the body has pleasure? Body has no pleasure. Whether dead body also is attractive or not. If body had pleasure, then enjoy. Dead body is there or not. Do. But no, it is here in the mind. All the doctors will also tell you that it is in the mind, it is not in the body. So when one understands that, it is such a limited thing it is. How much the mind goes running behind that sense pleasure. So he says this, Etan mamsa vasadu vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Again and again keep thinking. Gurudev used to say what, this body is 70 kgs of mobile manure. It is manure which is moving around. Huh? Full is only mobile manure. Covered very nicely with this skin. Little bit of skin if we peel, do we like what is there below it? It's so wonderful, Swamiji. Peel the skin. How terrible it is. Bhagwan has packaged it nicely. That's all. But otherwise, there is what is this skin? What is this body? Full of all this. The more we think about it in that terms, the more the mind will become dispassionate. Because what is the mind running behind? About oneself also one thinks I am the body, and the others also one thinks they are the body. All relationships based on the body. And then one is not even looking at the person for what that person is. One is looking at the person only for the body. And what is that body made up of? All this. Somebody, and how much exploitation has happened in the world just because of body. Somebody is born with a different color of the skin. There's just a pigmentation difference of the skin. But how much exploitation? Why? Because he's born of this color. Even today, we still feel in India or not, the white skin is superior. Why is the white skin superior? Just a skin color, Baba. And the best part is that white fellow is sitting in the sun and getting himself tanned. Especially they will go for getting tanned. Here we are already born with the golden hue and that brown color skin and tanning and all that. What is your problem? No, no. Skin color, that's one element of the 7 in the body. Fat. If somebody has more fat, somebody has less fat. Health-wise, it's a different matter. But, Bapre, how much people get conscious? You know, I have put on 600 grams in the last 10 days. There are people who say like that, grams. I have put on 200 grams. See, health consciousness is a different matter, but they are obsessed with the image. And how many people do what all kind of surgeries to maintain that image? Bapre baap. They stop eating food, they become what you call anorexic. In between few years back, you know, this waist zero was one craze. How can you have zero waste? I don't know what that means. Zero waste means what? I don't know. Does it mean that extra fat is not there? What is your uh, ideal waist size it is supposed to be? Does it mean that or what? I don't know what that means. Waist zero. And everybody was doing, you know, this Surya Namaskar, every day 100 Surya Namaskar. For what? Waist zero. And you come to Vedanta, we say, what waste? You are not the whole body at all. What waste zero you are trying to do? Take care of the body as an instrument, that is all. But how much the mind runs behind it, and one pimple comes, one white hair comes, one starts feeling, hurry, I am becoming old. You tell that person, you know, suppose somebody introduces, you know, he's Mr. So and so. And suppose they say he's 55 years old. And this man will be 54 and half. He will clarify, no, I am 54 and half. How much body identification it is, and one is thinking happiness is in the world outside in these terms only, that I am this body and body has to be presented well and body has to be, it is just a tool that we have, that's all. But fascination for it is so much. So he says, Etad mamsa vasa adi vikaram. You are not the body, other person is not the body. It is the minds which meet, it is the minds which work together. Connect at that deeper level. How much exploitation or gender exploitation also has happened in this world because of looking at the bodies only. And what are the bodies made up of? Bapre baap. You know what the doctors say, some of them, they say, this body has enough iron to make 10 nails. It has enough sugar to sweeten, let us say, 3 or 5 cups of sugar, 5 cups of tea. It has enough phosphorus to make 2 matchboxes. It has enough lime to make 2 cakes of soap. So 2 cakes of soap, 2 matchboxes, 10 nails, 3 cups of, 3 or 5 spoons of sugar, and some other 2-3 things it has. That's all this body has. If you combine all this and sell it also, it will not be more than some 500 rupees that one will get. But every single part of the body is so precious or not. So much organ smuggling happens or not. And lakhs of rupees. If anybody asks us, and I'll give you 5 lakh rupees, give me your hand, will we give? No. It is precious to me. This is my hand, this is my body. So it has to be preserved well, taken care of, to do certain things in the world, no doubt. Highest is to realize the absolute truth. But this body is me, and then when I see myself as the body, I see others also as body. If I see myself as a person with healthy values, good emotions, I will look at the other person also that way. My view of the world and the other people depends on my view of myself. So, what Bhajagovindam is telling us, you don't run behind money, don't run behind pleasure in such a way that I think of everything only from that mindset of enjoyment. Yeah, how much can I enjoy this? No, no. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Truth, that is the goal of life, not pleasure, not money. They have a place in life. Artha and Kama have a place in life, but not about Dharma and Moksha. Most of the time, life goes only in these two, Artha and Kama. And for that, I'll compromise with Dharma also. And Moksha to not there in the radar only. It is postponed. It is post-life, a post-retirement plan most of the time. No, he says, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. And then he goes on to say that this life is so temporary, so ephemeral. When it will go, we don't know. Very beautiful analogy. Fourth one. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tadvajjivitamati chapalam Vidhi vyadhyabhimana grastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. So he says, Nalini dalagata jalam. Nalini dala is the leaf of lotus. Petal. Jalam is one drop. Taralam. One drop of this water is resting on the leaf petal of a lotus flower. How delicate is that? A little breeze that passes by and the drop of water will fall. Says Tadvat Jivitam Atishaya Chapalam. This life is ephemeral like that. Any minute the body will just drop. Is there any guarantee that we will become old only and die? You see, if that guarantee was there, we could plan life properly. Because we know we are going to exit only at this point in time. But there is no such guarantee. Any minute one will die. So ephemeral is life. How many young people, they just drop dead? Anything can happen. Accident happens or some physical ailment comes. So many reasons. Just life will just go like this. Sometimes one can't believe. One would have spoken to that person 2 hours back and now that person is no more, gone. In the Gita, there is only 2 categories of people. In the 16th verse, in the second chapter, 11th verse. Gatasun, agatasun. Those whose prana is already gone and those whose prana is not yet gone. So it's not living or dead. The category is those who are dead and those who are not yet dead. Why? Because every single moment the prana is anyway going out. Life is ebbing away. So temporary. When it will stop? Our masters actually, they wonder that death is not a wonder of life. Life is a big wonder. Why? You take a balloon and in that balloon air is filled. If there is a hole that is there in the balloon, that balloon air will not remain. No, all the air will come out. If you try to blow that balloon and fill it with air, nothing will happen. Your air, it will not fill only. The air keeps coming out. Same way, this body has 9 holes. But how is it that the pranavayu is still there and this body is kept alive? That is a big wonder. Karma is holding this body and the prana together. Moment karma is over, what happens? Gone. Body will drop, whatever age it is. So he says this life is so ephemeral, like the drop of a water on the leaf of a lotus. It will drop anytime. And even that short life, what is it filled with? Vidhi vyadhi abhimana grastam. It is filled with disease at the body level and ego and pride and all the consequent sufferings at the mind level. So if we actually think of our life, it is so small. Now, Swamiji, today life expectancy has increased a lot. Now we are living up to 90, 80, 100 years also because medical science has progressed. Correct. From that standpoint, previously to today, life expectancy has increased. But even that life compared to earlier times is shorter. Earlier people used to live normally itself 120, 130, 140, more than that actually. This 100, what comes, no? Not 100, 25, 25, 25, 25. Four divisions of four stages of life comes to 100. But if you see astrology, we celebrate Shashti Abdhi Purti, 60 years of a person's life. Because they used to live for 120 minimum. So 60 is the exact half. And so the stages of life were divided by 30, 30 before. Then it came down. Life expectancy came down. They became 100. With that 100 has become our standard. Jivema Chavada Shatam, when we say, may I see 100 autumns. That is much later. Krishna, he lived for 125 years. Arjun, when he fought the battle, he was some 90 years old. Mahabharat war. Yeah, I am not joking. They used to live for 120, 130 years like that. Huh? After that, when they went for Swargarohan that time. So the idea is that even that life of 100 years, how is that life filled with what? Vyadhi abhimana grastam, lokam shokahatam cha samastam. In the world, people are afflicted by sorrow terribly, but still they will not seek the supreme source of happiness, which is the Lord. Bucket list. People make bucket list. Na? Have we made our bucket list? You can do that homework if you like. That before I drop this body, what are the things I want to do? Each one's bucket list will be different. But what people write now in bucket list? I want to visit all the 7 wonders of the world. I want to go to all the continents of the world. Something like that. Or I want to build my house, or I want this, I want that. Some big things they will write in that. Nobody writes, I want to realize the truth before I drop the body. That's why Shankaracharya is saying here, Are Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, because everything else will remain here only. And such a short life, how much we fight with each other in this short life. If life is short, what am I supposed to do? Make the best of it, no? Suppose you go for this Diwali vacation will come and you go to, which is the latest destination? Where are people going? Iceland, yeah, Iceland. A lot of people are going to Iceland, correct. Croatia. So you go to Iceland and you spend 5 days there. What will you do? Sleep in the hotel? You will try and go and explore that place, no? And you'll time it also to such a way that you can go and see the northern lights and all that. And see the volcanoes there and see the... Iceland is supposed to be very thinly populated, but very, very beautiful place. So many of our Chinmaya mission members recently have been going to Iceland. So if we go there for few days, we will want to make the best of it, or will we spend time fighting with each other having gone to Iceland? झगड़ा कर लो, होटल के रूम में बैठ जाओ, नहीं जाना कहीं पे बाहर, finished. No, one doesn't spend life like that. Having come here, we think that we have enough time. That's a big myth. I have enough time with me. So we postpone so many things. What is really good for me, what is very beneficial, that I postpone. And what is sometimes unnecessary, in that I am spending so much of time. So he says, Vidhi vyadhi abhimana grastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. So value this life, every single moment, live a life of health, live a life of happiness, live a life of service, whereby one feels joy every moment. Strange part is we all say happiness is not the destination, happiness is a journey. But I am not experiencing happiness in the journey. The journey is becoming full of what? Stress, worry, conflict, tension, anxiety, fights. Baapre. So Vidhi Vyadhi Abhimana Grastam. Lokam Shokahatam Cha Samastam. So this analogy has two very nice implications. One is that life is very, very short. Anytime it can drop. So make the best of this life. Second analogy, second meaning of this analogy is the drop of water, when it drops from the leaf of the lotus, it goes back into the pond. It becomes one with the whole pond. So that drop of water is like the jiva, and the pond is like Brahman. We have separated ourselves from it by our false notion that I am the body. When we drop the body identification, we realize that I am that Brahman only. The drop of water is not different from the water in the whole pond. It is one with that. But it thinks it is separate. In the same way it is. So this life we have to use for that sake. So time is a very precious commodity, one. And what do I use this body for? Very important. The one man had taken an appointment of a doctor. Then he went to meet the doctor. Now he was made to sit. His appointment was at 9 o'clock. So he reached there 8:55. He was there 9 o'clock his appointment. So he reached before. Once he reached there, 9 o'clock happened, 9:15 happened, 9:20 happened, 9:30 happened. His turn is not coming. Other patients are also sitting there. So finally at 10 o'clock he goes to the receptionist and he says, 9 o'clock was the appointment. It is 10 o'clock now. You should call us at the time when the doctor is here. The receptionist said, what is your problem? This is like this here only. Here it will be like this only. We don't know when the doctor comes and we give appointments. And the man said, that's the precise problem, that I don't have time. You need to realize that. And please call me only when the doctor comes. That lady did not understand what he meant. So he explained to her finally. He said, I am 78 years old. I don't have time. When the body will drop, I don't know. There are many things I need to do. So you cannot waste my time. He was very conscious of his time. How much conscious we are of our time. When the body will drop, nobody knows. Anytime it will drop. And the strange thing is the doctor has not even come there. See, the doctor has come, he is engaging with patient, time takes here and there, it happens, is understandable. But doctor has not come there also, 1 hour behind. That 1 hour, how many things can be done? So time is of a very, very important consequence because nobody can give time. People can give us time, peace for gift, but time who will give? Nobody can give time. And wasting anybody's time, Gurudev always used to say that we have no right to waste anybody's time. Every single moment is precious. So for a devotee especially, one knows that this body will drop any moment. Let me make the best of it and realize the truth. Otherwise, again one has to repeat the whole cycle of birth and that again one will come back. So that is this fourth verse to shake us out of this notion that I have enough time. No, life is very temporary. So don't postpone spiritual pursuit. You know that four quadrants which are there, urgent and important. Most of the time our mind runs in that only, urgent and important. Until something doesn't become urgent, one doesn't do it. People who are wise, they will spend the time in the second quadrant, in doing things which are important but not urgent. Meditation, there is no urgency. Regular exercise, there is no urgency, but it is important. So I should find out what are the things that I am doing in my life. How do I spend my day in general? How do I spend my whole life in general? Most of the time we will be doing things which are in quadrant 1, which are urgent and important. Or in quadrant 4, neither urgent nor important. Example, WhatsApp, forwarding, so many things one does. Not urgent nor important. And people have time. I wonder always, how do people have time? They are sitting and there are apps which are available, how to kill a mosquito on phone. So that person will take the racket and kill the mosquito. From there another mosquito will come, from here another will come, and then many will come and then go on killing. On one hand, there is so much of loneliness, people don't know what to do with their time. On the other hand, if you actually come to spiritual path, time is not enough. How much is there to study, learn, meditate, do so many things, which is applicable in any field, not only in spirituality. In any field, if we start going deep, we will find that time is not there. So how we value our time, what do we really want to do in this life, that is an important part. So not urgent, important, not important, not urgent but important. The third quadrant is very urgent but not important. What is the example of that? Urgent but not important. Sometimes let us say somebody calls, a friend calls. It appears it is very urgent, I have to at least take the call. But it is not necessary. Every person who calls, I don't have to take. I need to figure out what I am doing right now and then see whether I take or not. So it seems urgent, but it may not be. And not urgent, not important. So in my life, I have to make these four quadrants and figure out how do I spend my time? Where am I wasting my time? Where can I conserve my time? I have to understand that. Then the thing that takes away maximum time is our relationships. So Bhajagovindam goes on to tell one hard fact about life. That as long as I am productive, so long people want me. The moment I become unproductive, nobody wants me. Yavad vittoparjana saktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha paschat jivati jarjara dehe vartam kopi na pritchati gehe bhaja govindam govindam bhaja modhamate. Says yavad vittoparjana sakta. As long as one is capable of producing some wealth and becoming productive, tavan nija parivaro rakta. Till then, people care for you. Paschat jivati jarjar dehe. As the body becomes old and starts waning away, our capabilities become lesser, I am not productive as before. Vartam kopi na pritchati gehe. Nobody even asks, how are you? One is treated as though one doesn't exist, one is ignored. So many places people dump these elderly people into old age homes. Nobody is there to even, sometimes they are in their house, but nobody is there to even take care of them, ask them, spend some time, be loving to them, nothing. And the strangest part will be, it will be the people who are the closest, whom one thought they are my people, for whom one did everything, they are the people who will desert this person and go. Bhartam kopina pritchati gehi. First two lines, you are an asset. Next two lines, you are a liability. It's like that. Yavad vitto pajana sakta, tavan nija parivaro rakta. You are an asset. Paschat jivati jarjara dehe, vartam kopina pritchati gehi. You are a liability. What is the point here? Remember this, and before the world kicks us, kick the world and rise above it. Meaning, don't be dependent on anybody. People are there, I do my duty towards them, purifies my mind, that's all. It is for these people that one has put aside one's health, one has put aside one's peace of mind, one has put aside the spiritual life, balance everything to bring up these. And when they grow up, what they will say? We didn't tell you to bring us into the world, you brought us by your choice. We are not obliged to take care of you. Look at that arrogance. You see, they will talk like that also. We are not bound by our choice. You decided you wanted children. Is that the way to talk? But that's how some of them talk. And unfortunately, that is seeping into our country today also. Not that earlier it was not there, but the tradition of living together, having a family, protecting the parents, and even joint family, all that was our culture. Today, so before marriage, the condition is, will you stay alone or will you stay with the family? And if you are staying with family, I don't want to marry. Condition is you should split. Our parents took care of you and brought you up to this level, and you want to split. Functional need is there or different requirement is there, that's not a problem. But psychologically, one abandons. That is a problem there. So one should know it is the way of the world. World is going to do this. Everywhere it happens or not only in family. What they call, there are no free lunches. It is like that. Full time. Each one is seeing how much I can take out of that person maximum. The moment I am not useful, so what is my value? I am equal to disposable cup, disposable plate, disposable glass, disposable spoon, disposable person. Same thing. For that, why should I compromise with my higher values and my spiritual life? Not required. So he says this. Our Guruji says, when he spoke on this, he said one very nice line. He said, as long as we are productive, people are concerned about our welfare. When we are not productive, they are waiting for our farewell. That when will this person go? It is strange, People are waiting for the farewell. कि अरे ये कब जाएगा? One is not even treated as a basic human being. One is treated like that. So, world may be like that. Why should I take it personally? I should live in my dignity and I should drop attachments much before so that nobody can cause me that pain. No, Swamiji, there are enough people who love me. They don't dump me like that. So even if they are loving to me, they can come with me till where? Only till the grave, maximum. Beyond that, nobody comes. Even till the grave meaning carry, not that together we will die and we will be together. दैट इज अनदर मिथ, हम साथ मरेंगे। साथ कैसे मर सकता है कोई? लव स्टोरीज एंड ऑल यू सी, दे टुगेदर होल्ड हैंड्स एंड जंप, साथ मर गए। कोई साथ नहीं मर सकता है। And the strange part will be one will die, the other will live, and then that first fellow will be in maximum sorrow. Arey, to gayi. So next verse tells us that even if people are very, very loving to me, very caring, dear to me, and they are taking care of me, it's a blessing, it's a good thing. Still, the same person, the moment I am dead, what will that person do? They can't come with me at all. यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये भज गोविंदम गोविंदम भज मूढ़मते. As long as the life breath is there in the body, yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat pritchati kushalam gehe, till then everybody is loving to you, dear to you, caring about you. Gatavati vayav deha paye, when the body drops and the breath is no more there, bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye, the very spouse who was loving you so much will abhor this body. Suddenly from a person you will become body. Take the body, embalm the body, put the body here. You are a person now, till now. Now you have become body. No, Swamiji, but that is natural. After the body, person is dead, how can we keep loving? Point is not about that. Point is that what is going to come forward with us, I must take care of that or not. My dharma, my karma, my mind, that I must take care of while living here, because that is going to come with me. People are not going to come with me. That very person in whose attachment I have compromised, that person is not going to come with me. I did not do spiritual sadhana, I did not live my values properly. Why? Because I love this person, and to make that person happy and to make me happy, did so many things in the world, forgetting the Lord. Here he says, don't do that. Because even the dearest person can come only up till a point. But the one who will come with me life after life, that person I have ignored. That Supreme Lord who comes with me life after life, that relationship I did not strengthen. In pursuing what? This temporary relationship, however loving it is, will be only up to grave. After that, who comes? Bhagavan alone comes. So, bhaja govindam, bhaja govindam. Nobody is saying that we should start loving the dead body. No. The point here is that what is truly important, that should not be missed out. So more we will continue next class. Now our next class will be, this week we don't have any class. Next week there is no class. I am in Uttar Kashi. It will be after that. But that is the week of Diwali. You see, Dhanteras is on 25th. And then there is 27th is Diwali. Are you able to come? Then we have the class. If you are busy, tied up, then we will have the class on 9th November straight. 9th November? Okay. So we will have next straight on 9th November then. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।